People in YouTube, you can also give your answers in the chat box. Okay. I'm seeing alphabet of D and C. Two alphabet coming up. Let me look for YouTube also. C and D. Interchangeable C and D keep on coming. C and D. I will give few seconds. Let everyone answer here. C and D. Okay. All right. This is not such a big question. It's a moderate level question, right? And but do you think we need to have some agile thought process for this question to answer? You think so?
Yes.
Yeah. In agile, there is something called being agile, doing agile. What does it mean? Being agile. Other one is doing agile. What does it mean? Do anyone know that?
Being agile is basically the mindset. Like,
Okay. Okay. It's about the mind.
yeah.
Okay.
So
What is doing agile?
doing agile, we implement them in the projects what we learn.
Okay. Very
So
good. It's all
practice.
ceremonies, right?
Yeah.
Ceremonies, or you call as events,
Events. Yeah.
or some actions, what you do. Can I ignore any one of them?
No.
I can say, okay, I'm much interested on being agile. Come on, guys. Being is more important. Don't bother about doing. Just being. Just being. Come on. I'm patriotic. I'm patriotic. I love my country. I love my country. Then what do you do? Put all the trash on the roadside. God, man. You say you love your country, but you're putting a trash on the road, spitting on the road. What are you doing there? You're doing agile is bad. It is not what you say. You have to show what you do also. Both important, right? You cannot only speak. You have to do it. It's a combination of things. Now, let's go to the question. The question is targeting a agile project. Okay. Now, let's use those strategies, what you learned. This is a two line. Of course, it looks like two line. In exam also, it may look two and a half lines. Like this question is very popular. Now, first target is, who is being targeted in this question?
Key stakeholders.
Product owner.
Uh-huh.
Stakeholders,
Product.
right?
I heard product owner. I heard stakeholders. Okay. What would be a good way to engage the key stakeholders at this stage? So it looked like not one person is being targeted. Is it a situation?
Yes.
Or when they use a key stakeholder, could be someone in this list, someone pretty important guy who is sponsoring for the project, maybe. But still, there is no specific name given here. They kept as a situation at this stage. A situation is being targeted. Now, what is the problem in this question? Yeah, problem statement. What is the problem?
Lack of
So
engagement.
yeah.
Okay. Lack of involvement. Sorry, I heard another word term. What is that? Keep going.
Lack of engagement, I said. Yeah, it's involvement. Yeah.
Lack of involvement. Who is having this problem? Lack of involvement. Is it a team is not involved?
So the
Stakeholders are not
stakeholder.
involved.
Okay. Let's put like this. There is a team. Let's imagine this team is sitting somewhere in Accenture as a company. They're sitting working. And this work is given by a company. There's an X company. They are the one who gave this company. Now, Accenture and X company, they're working. Outcome is going to come out. Now, who is having an involvement problem? Is it the team which is in Accenture or X company? Who is having the problem?
X company.
X company. Okay, this is the problem, right? So, team, they didn't mention anything about the team. They said only about the this lack of involvement here. The key stakeholders are expressing concerns about their lack of involvement. I'm sure you read this word very carefully. They feel disconnected from the project. The product owner agrees, and this guy shakes his head, yes, agrees with these concerns and wishes to do something quickly. You want to take some action quickly. Your time is limited because Agile moves in a short timeline. They want to go faster. The iteration is coming to an end. And what to do next? Okay. Now I'm going to clear off all. I'm going to ask you, from your perspective, one I heard is a lack of involvement as a key term. Any other thing, key terms here?
Iteration is coming to an end.
It's a key term. Very good. How long an iteration can be in Agile?
2
2 to 4
weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks.
2 or 3 or 4. What about 1 week? Possible?
Yeah. Yes,
Possible.
possible.
Very good. But did they mention anything about the number of weeks here? Nothing
No.
mentioned.
No.
Nothing mentioned. So first they're trying to see, are you having a thought process of being agile? What is being agile? Being agile is giving importance to someone. Who's that someone?
Customer.
Customer. Okay. Then what about doing agile? Doing agile
Right.
is you have a time box. What is a time box? You can't wait your whole life to do something. Do as early as possible. What does it mean, Shri? Tomorrow morning, can I invite these guys? No. There should be some clear touch point where it makes sense to have them. Okay. Let's not go to the answer right now. First, let's see what would be the good way. They're asking good way to engage the key stakeholders at this stage. Be very clear, this is an agile project. We are not talking something on the plan-driven project, because a plan-driven project, you have a very systematic plan. What stages, what stakeholder has to involve. It's very clear. But since agile, things are so dynamic. We learned that in the past of classes. Now let's go to the answers. Let's start with the elimination. There should be 2 answers here. Totally doesn't make sense at all. Which 2 answers are there?
Daily stand-ups.
Okay, which answer it is? A.
A.
Arrange a daily stand-up on video so all stakeholders can join the meeting. Don't you think it's useful? It will be helping here?
Daily
No?
stand-ups are
But not
mainly
at
for the
this moment.
team. Their focus is for team, right?
This is for team. It doesn't mean the ex-company people have to come here.
Yes.
It's not going to help, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I feel this is out in that case. Then what are another answer? One more answer?
It's B.
B. Arrange a meeting with the key stakeholders to discuss the iteration backlog. What is a backlog in Agile?
It's the
Requirements.
user stories or requirements.
Subset of product backlog.
Yes. So it's a collection of requirements. Right?
Collection
We
of
have something
requirements.
called product backlog. From
A
here,
sprint backlog.
we take a top priority and we put in a small bucket. It's a big bucket, it's a small bucket. And here we have a sprint backlog, or we call it as a iteration backlog.
Yeah.
So this is a list of work team plan to do, but we pick only the high priority. If you know, we have something called high priority, we have low priority. So high priority will come here and we'll do the job. Very good. Don't you think this will help so that they feel more involved?
No, already the sprint is, in the middle now.
About to end.
It's about to end.
Quickly, we have to do something quickly.
Which is near to the end of the sprint, and they can feel their involvement. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So the answer goes to the D. I'm hearing D, but I'll not jump quickly to D because I have 2 set of answers here. One set of people thought C is answer. One set of people thought D is an answer. I will see if anyone is also going for the B here or A. Okay. No A, no B. Okay. Then let's go to the people C. People who said C, why you want to say C is a good answer? Maybe Mohammad Ilyas, you want to say something about C?
May I?
Yeah, please.
The iteration.
Yes, the issues happen, so we have to invite the stakeholder to plan the upcoming stages.
Okay.
So already they reviewed. The D point is the iteration review. So already we review. After review, only we come to know that we need more involvement. So the answer is C.
Okay. So you are getting a feel that in the review we understood there is a lack of involvement.
Exactly.
But it is not given like that. The key stakeholders are expressing their concern. On one fine day, you get a mail or a phone call. Hey, man, I don't know what you guys are doing. That's what I'm getting a feel here. But still, I like your point, what you say, which
But
means
in retrospectum, we don't involve the stakeholders. It is also again a discussion with the
Mhm,
team, what
mhm.
went well, and their lessons learned, they discuss internally, right?
Okay. I hear the point. I hear the point. Hemant, I'm coming to you. I'll first listen to a little more on Mohammed and thoughts. I like the thoughts Mohammed said. Hey, there is an issue already happening. Then why don't I start up planning? But question to you, Mohammed, if you really like this agile idea of making people involved, in the planning session, if you bring a stakeholder involvement, do you think that's going to help them to understand what is happening?
That they will know at the end of the iteration, right? So once it is done, they will know what is happening.
No, true. I think Suchitra, right? True. With good with your answer. But again, I like the Mohammed point here. In iteration planning, also is a good place. Iteration planning is a place I'm going to show what is the team is going to do. It is not mandatory that we need all the stakeholders to come there. But what if one of my stakeholders says, "Hey guys, I heard you guys are having a planning on Tuesday. I want to sit and watch what's happening." So as a stakeholder, I'll be interested to see a big picture of what is happening. Also, I'll be interested to see what is happening in this small box. I'll come to the point now. So I'll be pretty interested to see what is going to happen here. What is going to happen here? Because they feel disconnected. They don't know what is happening. They want to know what it is happening here. But when I say quickly, something is quickly, and that is also the iteration is coming to an end. It's a nice idea to bring it for the planning. But I heard from Suchitra here, retrospective. What was your point on retrospective? Please go ahead. I heard one point about
I
retrospective.
thought that is the last ceremony of any sprint where the team and
Ah,
product owner
right.
get a say.
Yeah, usually retrospective is done by the team to think of how can they improve the process, not on the product. I doubt how much the key stakeholders will have interest to listen about the process. There'll be more interest on the product. This plus I agree with you. Product, they'll be interested what they're going to do. But a process improvement, I don't think they will sit and listen. They don't need to be there. So now this answer is becoming a bit doubtful whether we can involve these guys in both the place. That's one of the doubt in this answer. Another doubt in the answer here is it's a coming to an end. In an agile project, we have a start. In the start, you have a planning. And in the end, we have something called a review. Once after review gets over, again another sprint starts. Now we are telling that even though we are on the 7th day of the work, I will look for the next upcoming planning. What happened to the review? Can we utilize it? That's a question now. Now, I'll move a little more down before Hemant want to say something. Hemant, what do you have?
Shri, after review and demonstration, correct me if I'm wrong, it would be the retrospective, right? But again, it depends. Will stakeholders not be included in this?
Okay, that's a good question. Your question here is, okay, there is a sprint starting. It's a 2 weeks sprint. Okay. So they have a sprint planning here. And they have a sprint review happens first. Then sprint retro happens.
Yeah.
In a review, we will talk about the product. In retrospective, we talk about the process. Okay. Now, your question is, do we need to involve the stakeholder in both the places? That's your question.
Yeah, because the iteration is coming to an end. That means it is not ended. You mean?
Yeah, not ended. We are going to get another iteration, right? Possibly. They didn't mention anywhere here. They mentioned one iteration is coming to end, not the project coming to end.
No, iteration is coming to end. That means they would have done with the review, right?
No. When I say coming to end, coming to end is if it is a 10 days of iteration, we may be on the 6th day, or we may be on the 7th day, we may be on the 9th or 8th day. Coming to an end, not ended. Coming to end is we're nearing there.
Hello.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go a little more.
I have one question. If you invite the stakeholder at the last stage, because the question says what you can quickly do. That means what you are doing is basically a short-term solution. Okay. But for the long-term planning, I think C is a better answer.
Okay.
For the short-term solution, if you think, okay, we have done some mistake, we have not involved some people, they are angry or they are mentally a bit upset. So it is something like a short-term solution. Okay. For that, D is the answer. But the approach should be C, in my opinion.
But
Okay.
the question states at this particular stage.
I have understood. But the question is, if you invite all the people who felt neglected at the ultimate stage, they may be sentimental. They will say, okay, no. From the next iteration planning, I will be involved, not now. Even if I invite, they may not come. I mean, I'm thinking practically. I'm not putting any formula. If you invite a person at the last stage, he may tell, okay, why you are calling me now?
But in this case, we are going to have the iteration review before the planning. And that is the reason why we are opting for D. If it is only the planning and the retrospective, this cannot go together. It is contradictory. The planning and the retrospective cannot go together. Okay,
They have never told it is going together. What they are telling, planning followed by. First, you have to do the planning, na? So at that stage, you have to involve. When you do the retrospective, also involve at that stage. I'm thinking in that way. Don't think it is happening together.
Okay. Look like we need some understanding on how things work. I think there is some gap in understanding. Let's clarify that. That will help everyone. Okay. Are you seeing the screen, what I'm sharing right now?
Yes.
Okay. Now, let's get a bit clarity on what is happening. So in an Agile project, there is something called a sprint planning meeting, which happens in the beginning of every sprint. This planning can happen 4 hours of time if it is a 2 weeks of sprint. After this 4 hours, team starts working. Let's imagine it's a 10 days of sprint. In the 10 days, that is 2 weeks of sprint, the team is working. Every day, 24 hours once, they talk about what is happening, how things are going on as a daily stand-up. Now, let's come to the debatable place where we are conversing. What we are conversing here is, you got a mail or a phone call from one of your stakeholders saying that, guys, what's happening, man? I don't know what is happening in a team. And I'm a bit upset with what is happening there. Now, question here is, when it comes on the 6th day, I'm just putting a number, okay? 6th day it's coming. Now, there needs some clarity on how Agile team works. You know the planning, you know it's an everyday meeting, and when it comes on 10th day, that is the last day of the sprint, team first ritual they will do, it's called sprint review. So this is the first touch point in a place where you can involve any stakeholder who is interested on product. What do you mean by product? What you are developing, what is the outcome? Now that's the first touch point. After this touch point, there is something called retrospective. And for retrospective, you start understanding how the process works in the team. How can they improve? This is the least bothered by any stakeholder coming from outside. I don't bother how you are working. For me, what you are going to give. This is on what and this is on how. They may be interested on the outcome. You can send a MOM. You can send some document. That's okay. But this is what they're interested. If this is a case, when the 6th day an issue comes like this, if I'm an agile person, I will be directly asking, can I involve them here? But what we are debating is, you're telling that I won't involve here, rather I'll involve on the next planning meeting. That is also a nice idea, you can involve. But why you're missing this one? When you have an opportunity to involve them, to show them what is happening, you can be here. Top of that, if they say, I want to be part of the next planning, yes, you can be there, but not on the retrospective. I believe some of you got the clarity on the rituals, what's happening. Yeah, now let me go to the question again. Pritham, you got the clarity about the rituals of what is happening in Agile?
Yeah. I got it. I sent in the chat box also.
Yeah, fine. So what I do is, I'll show that. It's a very, what to say, look, planning, nice answer, but I would say planning is a bit tricky here because we are losing the time there. Because a review comes first, then comes the next sprint planning. because we are coming to end of a sprint. But another thing which this answer won't be qualified is retrospective. Retrospective is a place where teams sit and talk, how can they improve? I don't want the ex-company manager come and sit and watch how we are doing. That's not needed for them. That's out of the topic. If at all you're interested, yes, you can ask me, but I'm not interested to show you. But I'm more interested on showing on what we did. Now that qualifies answer D. Now, since we discussed a lot on this, I'll show you something more to understand better. Look at this principle. One of the reason I would have requested few times to read the principles very well. The reason is, in this principle, if you read the principle number 1, our highest priority is to satisfy the customer through early and continuous delivery. This I can show only in a review. Okay. And and also they're pretty interested on working software, which is a primary measure of progress. These two are the one you're solving in the previous question. There is a reason I keep asking people to understand the principles very well. When you understand this very well, chances are you are able to solve many questions, because these points are not explicitly given in the question. It is a conceptual understanding. Now comes being agile. When you say being agile, you understood importance is primary focus is on the working part, not documentation. And the priority is very high is to satisfy the customer. If I'm clear on this, if I see a question like what I saw previous one, my brain can process better. Okay, these guys are trying to see I'm a being agile, also I'm a doing agile. On top of that, one of that point about retrospective, if you read carefully, retrospective, here at regular intervals, team reflects on what? How to become more effective and adjust and tune their behavior regularly. And this is nothing but retrospective. I don't want a business person coming and sitting here to say what team has to do. Team know what to do, because why they don't need to force down is because they are called, what is KW? What is
Knowledge
KW?
Knowledge
workers.
workers.
Knowledge workers.
They are knowledge workers. If I bring my business person to come and sit and instruct me, I'm going 30 years back. I'm going to the time where my father joined the job where they have a hierarchy system. I'm not doing agile way. And that's leading towards 75% of a failure project. Maybe we may work in a company, they follow this. And we may think, oh, wow, what book says doesn't make sense. Because in my corporate, we don't do like this. But are we aware the company where we are working, it's already a sinking ship? Are you aware of it? How many projects are failing? What is the cost cutting they are doing? They're not successful. Sometimes this kind of process can help them. But without this process, the company where we work, they may also have some process. But check out if it's helpful. If it's helpful, nice. If not, Agile recommends that allow the team to think themselves how to improve and let the product related part, business people involved there. That's the point. I believe you got some answers today. Okay, I know we are top of the time.